With Moscow under French control, Tsar Alexander I is forced into submission. Instead of retreating, Napoleon consolidates power, integrating Russia into his empire. The continental system strengthens, isolating Britain further. Without the disastrous winter retreat, Napoleon's army remains intact, allowing him to focus on securing his rule. The balance of power in Europe shifts dramatically, with France now the undisputed superpower. Would Britain stand alone, or would new alliances form to challenge Napoleon's dominance? With Russia subdued, Napoleon turns his attention to Britain. The Royal Navy remains a formidable obstacle, but without Russian support, Britain's position weakens. Napoleon enforces a stricter continental blockade, crippling British trade. Meanwhile, French influence spreads into Persia and India, threatening British colonial dominance. Would Britain negotiate peace, or would it fight on, relying on its navy and distant allies? The world teeters on the edge of a new global order dictated by Napoleon's ambitions. With Europe under firm control, Napoleon implements sweeping reforms. The Napoleonic Code spreads across the continent, modernizing legal systems. Industrialization accelerates under centralized French rule, creating a more unified European economy. Nationalist movements, however, simmer beneath the surface. Would Napoleon's empire hold together, or would resistance grow over time? Without the Russian campaign draining resources, could Napoleon have built a lasting European superstate, rivaling future global powers? The fate of the world hinges on his ability to maintain control. The Americas feel the ripple effects of Napoleon's success. Without pressure from European wars, France retains control of its Caribbean colonies. The United States, wary of a dominant France, strengthens ties with Britain. Latin American independence movements face greater resistance as Napoleon supports Spanish rule. Would the Monroe Doctrine emerge in a world where France dominates Europe? Could Napoleon's empire extend its influence across the Atlantic, reshaping the balance of power in the Western Hemisphere? As Napoleon ages, the question of succession looms. Without the disastrous Russian campaign, his dynasty remains strong. Would his son, Napoleon II, inherit a stable empire, or would internal divisions tear it apart? A prolonged French dominance could delay or prevent the rise of Germany and Italy as unified nations. Would the 20th century still see world wars, or would a French-led Europe create a different global order? The echoes of Napoleon's victory would shape history for centuries.